Scientists from Harvard and Stanford have recently uncovered the real reason why people can't lose weight, no matter how much they diet, exercise, or even starve themselves. And no matter if their weight gain was caused by eating, lifestyle, or simply because of aging. Hi, my name is Frank Rosen, and in this short presentation, I will tell you how I almost starved myself to death while I kept gaining weight and doctors were telling me there's nothing they can do about it, and how this breakthrough helped me lose over 42 pounds without any fitness program or dieting, and not only saved my life, but also kept me from gaining weight ever again. Take a look at this picture. Now, here's me 7 weeks after I tried this miracle formula. Pretty amazing, isn't it? This breakthrough left researchers at Stanford and Harvard in awe, as they were finally able to prove why no diet plan, fitness program, or even starvation ever works. If you've ever tried starving yourself so you can lose a few pounds just to see all the weight piling back on in a couple of months, or if you've ever felt how hard it is to start a new diet, then you need to watch this unveiling report now. The most important thing you must understand right now is that it's not your fault, and the root of all your weight problems hides in the most unimaginable place, your GI tract. Because, according to top research scientists from Harvard and Stanford, inside your intestines live billions of toxic parasites that not only prevent you from losing weight, but actually make you fatter, even if you barely eat a thing. The worst part is, left untreated, they could lead to serious health issues like obesity, diabetes, liver, or even kidney failure. And if you stick until the very end of this presentation, you'll discover the real reason why you couldn't lose weight all this time, and how adding a few ingredients in your daily meals will get you the perfect shape you've always craved for. Here's what other people had to say after trying this method. Christine Rolton, a 47-year-old from Utah who lost 32 pounds in 6 weeks by trying this formula, says, "I cannot even begin to tell you how desperate I was to take off all that weight. But my health was too poor for exercising or an extreme diet. And then I found this formula and oh my God, everything I knew about weight loss changed. It's amazing what you can do with a good metabolism." Christine Rolton, 47, Utah. Richard, a 52-year-old from Michigan, lost 51 pounds in 9 weeks and says, "I had no idea that these parasites were living in my intestines. And to think, I've spent years trying to figure out why I kept getting fat, and no doctors could explain it. I was huge, and my health problems got so bad I could barely get out of the house. Then I started following this formula, all too simple to be true, and what do you know? I've lost 51 pounds in less than 9 weeks, and I haven't put on a gram." Richard Garrison, 52, Michigan. Taylor, from Ohio, who lost 23 pounds in 4 weeks, says, "I lost 23 pounds in 4 weeks so far, a great victory for me. I haven't been able to lose weight for 8 years, and I've been torturing myself with diets. But what surprised me the most was how much my health improved in just 3 months. I have so much energy. I don't have any belly aches anymore, no bloating, and no more cravings either. My skin is extremely clear and healthy for the first time in my life, and I have to say, I haven't changed anything else but adding this formula. It's the most amazing thing." Taylor D., Ohio. "I wish I knew about this when I started gaining weight. That way, I wouldn't have to go through all the horror and starvation that almost got me killed." Just 3 days before discovering this formula, my wife found me on the kitchen floor unconscious. It was 4 a.m. when Sarah came in because she thought she heard the water running. The kitchen was dim lit, and she nearly tripped over me trying to turn the faucet off. I have no idea how long I'd been lying there. I remember waking up in the middle of the night feeling sick to my stomach and so thirsty that my mouth was dry as dust. I got up from the bed and got one of those head rushes that makes everything turn black in front of your eyes. I thought I just got up too fast, but by the time I got in the hallway, I was so dizzy I had to cling to the wall to keep myself from falling to the floor. I was desperate to get to the kitchen and drink a glass of cold water to put me back on my feet. But the minute I reached the sink and turned on the faucet, I felt my legs vanishing from under me, and I couldn't keep straight if my life depended on it. Everything turned black again, and the last thing I remember was the cold floor against my face. It's so weird that even though I'd barely eaten a thing for almost 3 weeks, I felt heavier than ever, and to be honest, I was right. It seemed like everything I ate or drank, even water, would just add more to my weight. That's why I decided to go on this extreme starvation program in the first place. My doctor told me that if I didn't lose 40 pounds fast, I should expect a heart attack, knocking me out any time. I was already on a diet and exercising every morning, and still, every time I got on that scale, it was like all my efforts were imaginary. It was so frustrating to see nothing work, no matter what I did. And I must have tried about a dozen diets and 7 different fitness programs in just 2 years. That's when it all started. A couple of years ago, I was at my daughter's place celebrating her birthday. She was 4 months pregnant, and I was so happy I was going to have a grandchild I couldn't stop planning everything I'd do with him. That's when my daughter told me something that blew me off my feet. She said, "Dad, you're definitely going to be our Santa for Christmas with that belly of yours. I think we're in competition now for the biggest belly in the house." That was the first time it hit me. I was fat. I mean, I was always a bit chubby, but now I was really fat, like never before. And now that I thought about it, I'd already started to feel that extra weight every time I had to take a longer walk, carry grocery bags, or simply walk up the stairs. But I thought I was just not in the same good old shape I used to be. I mean, it's normal, right? It comes with age. There's nothing out of the ordinary for a 45-year-old man to put on a few pounds. At least it all seemed normal to me, until I piled on another 22 pounds in 4 months. 22 pounds, just like that. Didn't even see it coming. I hadn't changed my diet or anything. And still I kept getting fatter and fatter. By the time my daughter was 8 months pregnant, I was twice her size. I could barely climb a flight of stairs without having to sit for a few minutes and catch my breath. I started to suffocate, and my heart rate got out of control with every effort I made. Naturally, I decided to see a doctor, hoping I'll get a treatment or something. The doctor took a long look, full of disgust, and said, "Well, what would you expect? You've got to lose 40 pounds or your heart's going to snap." Snap. That's the word he used. I was so panicked I immediately started looking for a nutritionist to put me on the diet of my life. It was quite a strict diet, and I also had to jog in the morning and go to the gym in the afternoon. But as long as I left those 40 pounds behind, I was ready to do anything. Just the thought of not getting to see my first grandson grow up left me in tears every time it crossed my mind. So I followed all the rules to the letter, and at first I felt wonderful, full of energy, and feeling quite good about myself. I was on the right path, convinced the extra pounds would just shave off as I worked towards a new me. But after a month of sweating and health eating, I was shocked to see not only that I hadn't lost weight, but that I actually added 4 pounds. I admit I was completely broken for a couple of days, but I kept to my exercise program and changed my diet yet again. Then the next month, a whopping 6 extra pounds were right there, mocking me from my scale. I felt like I was useless. I got so depressed that I started sneaking in the kitchen at night, munching on a tiny chocolate candy every now and then just to make myself feel good for a couple of minutes. Then I'd work out twice as much to melt off the calories. And still, 3 months later, there I was with 7 new pounds. I visited the nutritionist again, and he put me on rabbit food all day long. Everything on my plate was a disgusting shade of green, but even with the tasteless, many-portioned food, I still gained 4 more pounds. It was impossible. My nutritionist was convinced I had a hormonal problem, even though I had already taken all the tests and they came out all right. In the end, he told my wife I was clearly cheating the program and there's nothing he can do about it. I thought my blood would literally boil in my veins. After all the sweat and hunger, how dare he say I was cheating? But then the saddest thing happened. My own wife wouldn't believe me. She just couldn't understand how I could keep piling up all that weight. And honestly, neither did I. I was ashamed with myself. I was scared for my health and embarrassed by my body. Even the doctor I went to looked at me with a look of disgust, like I was a big fat pig whose place was in the sty and not in a respectable medical office. And what was worse, my own family looked at me with either pity or a that-serves-you-right kind of stare. I needed to prove them and myself that I was set on losing my extra weight, so I decided to starve myself to lose 40 pounds. I barely ate a thing. Instead, I drank lots of water and veggie juice for 3 weeks straight. Well, you know where that landed me. Flat on the kitchen floor, my head cracked and my heart about to snap, just like the doctor said. It's hard for me to talk about this, but I know it will help you and other people out there who really need to lose weight fast and safe. Because once you discover this new method of losing weight effortlessly, you'll forget about all the horrible times you had before. You'll forget about the diets that keep you hungry and drained of energy all the time, and about the fitness programs that make you feel like the biggest loser on earth. But first, you need to know what can happen to you if you wait too long. Not from a doctor, but from someone who went through the nightmare and knows what he's talking about. When I woke up on the hospital bed with needles stuck in my arm, and I saw all my family sitting around me all teary-eyed, praying for me to wake up, I couldn't help but burst into tears. I was completely devastated because I realized I was cornered. That was it for me. If I starve myself, I die. If I don't starve myself, I keep gaining weight and I die. I was pushed to my death one way or the other. I knew it, and looking at the other faces around me, they knew it too. I spent the next 3 days begging my doctors to help me. I literally clutched my fist to their white coats and begged them to help me out. As you can only imagine, it's pretty hard to say no to a fat, blubbering man who just came back from the dead. So they ran 1,001 tests on me, trying to figure out why I couldn't lose weight. They kept reassuring me they'll come up with an answer. Eventually, they sent me a nutritionist that, guess what, gave me a full weight loss plan with a health food diet and strongly advised me to exercise lightly around the house. In other words, I was doomed. I couldn't do a thing to avoid getting fat and sick. My family was too busy getting me up on my feet again to understand my real panic. If I didn't lose all that weight, and even worse, I kept piling more of it, I was going to have a much bigger problem than forgetting to take my vitamins in the morning. At this point, all I could do was hope for a miracle. Hope that someone, somehow, would slip me a magic pill or vacuum out the extra fat overnight. I was so desperate that I would have given away everything I owned, my home, my car, my savings, anything, just to find a way to keep myself alive and be with my loved ones. One night, when I was all alone in the hospital room with the IV stuck in my arm, I took my computer on my lap, clicked the internet icon, and wrote the one question that didn't let me sleep at night. Why am I fat? Oh, the things I read there I don't even want to remember. I already felt like a big fat burden, but let me tell you this, when I got to page 6, I was crying like a little girl bullied on the playground. Apparently, the only reason I was fat is because I ate like King Kong 24/7, and I could easily shave off a gazillion pounds by throwing out everything I had in the fridge. I was ready to close the computer and throw it out the window, but something on the screen caught my attention. It was a strange guy talking about how he discovered a fat loss method completely different from anything I'd ever seen. According to his discovery, the reason why you can't stop gaining more and more weight is actually billions of parasites you have in your intestines that drill through the walls of your GI tract, infect your internal organs, slow down your digestion and your metabolism, and even make you crave for unhealthy foods 24/7. Normally, I would laugh at this sort of wild theories. Parasites living inside my body? Still, the more I read, the more I realized this guy might actually be a genius. He started his own research after seeing a study performed by a brilliant team of researchers from Stanford specialized in weight loss and metabolism. It was the first time when someone showed clear proof that these toxic parasites are responsible for weight gain. Here's how this happens. Inside your GI tract, there are billions of bacteria that help your body function normally. Some of these bacteria are good, some are bad. As long as the bad ones don't exceed 20% of the total, you're completely safe and healthy. The good bacteria are there to keep the bad ones under control and prevent any attacks. Now here's where things go wrong. Nearly everything we eat helps these bad bacteria grow. Even donuts, bread, or pasta, they all kill the good bacteria, the ones that protect our bodies from bad bugs. And this way, they help the bad ones grow inside our intestines. Once they start growing, you'll notice symptoms like cravings for unhealthy foods, lack of energy, bloating and poor digestion, excessive belly fat, and a rapid weight gain. Any of these sound familiar? Of course, the most noticeable symptom is the extra pounds that keep on piling. So what do? You go on diets. You starve yourself. You eat rabbit food all day long. You stress your body with long workout programs. But what you don't know is that putting your GI tract through so many changes and so many diets only makes it even weaker. The more you stress your GI tract with diets and starvation, the more the good bacteria die and the bad parasites thrive. And the more they thrive, the fatter and sicker you get. And the shocking thing about these parasites is that you don't even notice how much damage they've done until it's too late. Until you're lying on a bed with a tube in your mouth and needles in your veins, and a nurse checking if you're ready to have your chest split open from top to bottom just so you get a chance to live like a vegetable. So, there I was in the hospital room. The more I was reading about the formula, the more I started to understand what I was doing wrong, and the more excited I was to try this amazing method. As you can imagine, the first thing I did was to contact this controversial guy. So I sent him a message, shut down the laptop, and anxiously waited for his reply. This was my only chance to get my life back. The next day came the reply. Hi, Frank. If you want to find out more about this, I think it's best to meet in person. Maybe to you it might sound weird, but I was so excited about it that I immediately said yes and agreed to see him. So this guy gives me this address, and it's like I'm in a mob movie. I meet him in a park at 10 p.m. when no one's there, and there he is, with a hat on his head and a big yellow envelope in his hands. I'm thinking, This is it for me. I trust a guy on the internet, and that's what I get. I think I was actually literally shaking with fear. As I get closer to him, I'm trying to figure out how I could make my escape, when suddenly he turns around, takes his hat off, and gives me the kindest, most genuine smile I've ever seen in my life. I was blocked. I had no idea what to do, just sitting there stiff like a log. He comes straight at me, shakes my hand, and says, "Good you came to meet me. I wanted you to see all my documents for yourself. I have them all here. Just wanted to give them to you so you can study them and decide afterwards. It's best to be fully informed." I was speechless. He came all the way there to see me just so I can make sure he wasn't scamming me or anything. I took the envelope from him, but since he was there, I started asking him questions. How does this method work on parasites? He told me he found a way to manage these toxic parasites, no matter how infected your system is. It's all done with the help of probiotics. He asked me if I'd ever heard of probiotics, especially since they've become very popular in the last few years. Of course I heard, I said to him. It's been all over TV in the last years. So you're telling me that what's keeping me from losing weight is just a handful of pills? He shook his head in disapproval and told me, probiotic capsules won't do the trick. You see, when you put probiotics in capsules, you rob them of their natural environment. Probiotics live in certain foods, and they're not meant to be taken out of their medium and transferred into capsules. Once you do that, most of these probiotics die immediately. So when you take probiotic capsules, they have no real effect on your body because the ingredients are most likely inactive. I had no idea about that, so I kept asking him questions about these probiotic foods. He said probiotics come in many forms. Some are stronger, some are weaker. Some help you lose weight, while some simply protect you against parasites. It takes a whole lot of testing to figure out the perfect formula that helps you lose the most weight possible and keeping it off for good while maintaining your health. I was sitting there listening to all those amazing things I had no clue about and looking at the papers he had prepared to show me, and I thought, wow, this guy had access to information probably only a handful of people know. So I asked him how he discovered this. He looked at me and said, I had to. I had no other choice. Because of my weight, I lost everything I had. My job, my wife, my house, everything. I spent the last 12 years trying to find a way to get my life back, and this is the only thing that ever worked for me. Now I'm trying to help others before they end up losing everything like I did. This envelope contains everything you need to know in order to get your life back, Frank. Study it, try it, and tell me how it goes. He shook my hand one more time and left, leaving me standing there with the envelope in my hand. I went straight home and started going through the documents. This man had done something incredible. He created a special probiotic-rich food formula that can help you lose weight and restore your health at the same time without making any other effort besides eating. It's so simple you don't need to lift a finger. Your body naturally assimilates everything you've been deprived of so far and starts fixing your metabolism right away. The tests he made show that by using this formula, your body starts to burn fat faster. So not only do you stop piling weight like you used to, but you start losing weight, especially off your belly. Your waist gets visibly thinner. Your energy levels are higher due to the fast metabolism, and your digestion problems are treated. But it doesn't stop there. Once you put your body on the fast track, it keeps rolling at the same speed because your metabolism isn't slowed down by bad bugs anymore. If you follow a few simple instructions, you can lose up to 40 pounds, get the waistline you've had 20 years ago, load up on energy, fix your digestion, and restore your health. Now, I know this may sound like a pipe dream, but I've been through the exact same changes, and for the first time in my life, I felt like all those horrible problems, life-threatening problems, that I've had for years are gone. I tried not to get my hopes up when I noticed the first improvements. I just started the formula for a few days, and I was already sleeping better at night. I woke up full of energy. I didn't feel bloated all the time, and my cravings stopped altogether. I ate normal food. I wasn't even on a diet, and I could tell my waistline was shrinking. And I know this may sound stupid, but I felt lighter too. Ever since I started gaining weight, I always felt heavy, and now it was the first time I actually felt light. I thought I might be overexcited and just imagining things, so I kept following the instructions to the letter, trying not to pay too much attention to my body and my health, but it was impossible. I lost a total of 42 pounds. I couldn't believe it. One day I was on the hospital bed with doctors and family looking at me with pity, and before I knew it, I was a new man. I had more energy than I had in years. I felt good, and I looked good as well. My wife told me I had the same figure when we got married 22 years ago. And the best part of it was that it barely felt like I was making an effort. Unlike all the other programs, this weight loss formula is amazingly easy and even pleasant to follow. Instead of taking out all your favorite foods from your diet or making you starve, the formula adds foods that help you lose weight naturally. And here's something most products on the market lack. The usual diets are meant to stress your body into losing weight by depriving it of essential nutrients. And then the moment you stop dieting, you put all those pounds back on, and then some. But this unique formula is meant to manage the reason why you get fat in the first place. Parasites growing in your intestines, piling on extra weight, slowing down your metabolism, and making you crave for unhealthy foods that only make you fatter. Once you're parasite-free, you'll start shaving off weight effortlessly because your metabolism will run at maximum speed, turning fat into energy to last you an entire day instead of storing it on your body. So not only will you lose all those extra pounds, but you'll stay fit for years to come. And if that wasn't good enough, the cost to follow this formula is close to nothing compared to all those fancy diets and fitness programs you keep buying over and over again. The ingredients you need are available at any supermarket or organic store if you prefer organic food, and you won't even feel an extra cost on your grocery bill. To make it as simple as possible for you, I put together an instruction guide for this probiotic-rich formula so you can get the best results in the shortest time. It's called the Fat Crusher System, and it includes a full list of ingredients, specific step-by-step instructions, and even simple recipes to make at home every day, even if you barely have a couple of free minutes. I really want you to have this formula and see for yourself that you can lose weight without putting in any effort. And also, I want you to experience what it's like to live without the fear of piling up those pounds right back on. This time, once you lose the weight, you can rest assured it's off for good because your metabolism will be working for you, not against you. Here's what Caroline Frost, a 47-year-old from Michigan who lost 48 pounds in 9 weeks, says. I was 46 pounds overweight, and I had no hope of losing them. Thank God I found your formula. It helped me lose 48 pounds in 9 weeks easier than I could have imagined. And not just that, I also feel healthier than I've ever been, which is something I've never even hoped for. Caroline Frost, 47, Michigan. Rob from California says, I started 5 weeks ago and I haven't quit the formula yet. I love eating all those foods, and when I see my health getting better and better, I see absolutely no reason to quit. I've already lost 21 pounds, and I can feel my body has changed completely. I don't crave for fatty foods anymore. I don't feel heavy and drowsy all the time. It's like I reset my bio clock, and it feels amazing. Rob Hoy, 49, California. Joshua from Texas lost 28 pounds in 19 days and says, my wife recently divorced me because of my weight problems. Not only was I sick, but I was also depressed. I was impossible to live with. She waited for 6 long years and then filed for divorce. I wanted to prove her that I'm a new man now, so I called her to get together and talk. She didn't even recognize me. After I started the formula, I lost 28 pounds in 19 days, and I'm still counting. I am in the best mood I've been for years, and I haven't complained about my health for months. Joshua Gray, 57, Texas. These are just some of the emails I get in my inbox every day, and I really want you to be the next success story I read. Why wouldn't you? I've prepared everything you need, and I'll show you how you can get it in just a second. And as a bonus to you, I made sure it's the most affordable weight loss program on the market right now. Because I know what it's like to spend recklessly on anything that might help you lose a lot of weight fast, no matter how expensive it may be. And I know how betrayed you feel when you try yet another diet or some new pills, and the results are so disappointing you don't even want to look at yourself in the mirror. I don't want to do that to you. That's why I set the lowest price possible for the Fat Crusher system that can help me spread the word about this miracle formula. Here's how that happened. I asked a friend of mine who works at an accounting firm to help me with my project. So we sat there and crunched the numbers, and we managed to set a minimum price that would allow us to cover all the costs we had. Website maintenance, sharing this message with as many people as possible, and also having a customer service in case you have any questions you need answered. Now I can proudly say that you can get the Fat Crusher system not for $330, not even half of that, but for just $39. All you need to do is click on the Add to Cart button below, and you'll be redirected to our secure payment page where you can safely finish the order and start losing weight. And to show you how confident I am it's really going to work for you, I'm giving you a full 60-day money-back guarantee so you don't risk a thing. In case you are not completely satisfied with the results, if you don't lose all the weight you wanted to, or if your health isn't fully restored, just send me an email, and I'll immediately send you all your money back to the last cent. Think about it. In 60 days from now, the results of this formula will be as clear as daylight. You will see how much weight you can lose, and you will be healthier than you've been in years, all 100% natural and without adding any toxins to your body. And you can rest assured these results are here to stay. You know how after you finish a diet, you feel all drained of energy, your skin looks dry, your hair is weak, and your stomach is constantly aching? And then, the minute you start eating normal food and begin to feel a bit better and stronger, all that weight gets back on in just a few weeks. Well, this formula goes the other way around. The longer you follow these simple instructions and eat the foods I listed for you, the better you'll feel and the more weight you'll lose. Your metabolism will get back to full speed, and you'll keep shaving off extra pounds even if you don't follow the program to the letter. Finally, you'll be able to shove all those horrible diets to the trash and stop starving yourself and destroying your own health. You can stop forcing your body into exercising and exhausting yourself without any results. And please, think about this. Think of all the money you'll save with Fat Crusher System, the last weight loss formula you'll ever have to try. No more money wasted on diets and pills that don't even work or only work a very short while. No more money spent on doctors and medication. No more money spent on nutritionists and their so-called healthy foods that taste like grass. Fat Crusher System is the one favor you'll do for your body and your health, and you'll thank yourself eternally for deciding to give it a try. One try, that's all it takes. But I'm urging you, you need to try it now. Click on the Add to Cart button now, and in 60 seconds, you will have the full Fat Crusher System all to yourself, and you can be sure no one can take it away from you. You can start the formula today if you want to. You don't need more than a few bucks and 5 minutes to spare. So don't miss the chance, and hurry to the order page now. You have absolutely nothing to risk. Your money is perfectly safe for 60 full days, so you don't need to worry about that. You can choose to change your life now, earlier than I did. You have the option to start losing weight naturally, effortlessly, and fast, without stepping foot in a gym ever again. Fat Crusher System is nothing like any other weight loss method out there. This one doesn't restrict you from eating and enjoying life. Instead, it tracks down the bad bugs that get you fat and sick and manages them without any effort from your part. Once they're gone, your metabolism will do all the work for you and naturally turn fat into energy, so you can enjoy every meal and keep yourself fit and healthy at the same time. All you need to do now is click on the Add to Cart button and start losing all those nasty pounds you've been trying to get rid of for years now, and keep them off your body too. Also, you'll stop feeling drained of energy, and you'll finally be more active and focused than you've ever been. You'll notice your health getting better by the day, inside and out. Your digestion will improve, stomach aches and heartburn will finally be relieved, as well as bloating and that annoying feeling of fullness after you eat. And you'll notice the effects of the formula on the outside, too. Your skin will look healthy, your hair will get stronger, and most important, you will actually see your waistline shrink. Now, please remember, Fat Crusher System is not all about short-term results. Yes, you will see incredible changes in no time, but the results will only get better with time. And before you know it, you're going to look at a whole different person in the mirror. All that excessive weight that drags you down and endangers your health, take it out of the picture. If you want to lose 20, 30, 40, even 50 pounds, you can easily do it with Fat Crusher System. Do you like that picture? Well, it's not just your imagination. That could be you, the real you. You won't even know when it all happens because the formula does it all for you. Just click on the Add to Cart button below, and in just 60 seconds, you'll have the formula all to yourself. Remember, you don't risk a thing thanks to my 60-day no-questions-asked money-back guarantee. And after you've successfully tried this incredible formula and lost all the extra pounds in just a few short weeks, send me an email and let me know about your results. Still here? Normally, at this point, some people like to take a few moments before deciding to invest in this risk-free program. That's why I think it's best to recap a few things that are important. So how can the Fat Crusher System formula help me lose weight? The most important thing that you need to know is that the Fat Crusher System formula will help you deal with the reason why you keep gaining weight while speeding your metabolism to keep you fit long after you've stopped taking the formula. Now you can be sure that all the weight you lose will stay off for good, without any other diets or weight loss programs. You can lose up to 42 pounds and restore your health at the same time. Why haven't I heard of this before? The news about these insidious parasites making us fat and sick has recently rocked the scientific world. More and more studies have been made ever since, and they've all led to the same conclusion. If you don't destroy these parasites, you'll never be able to lose weight and restore your health, no matter how hard you try. However, no one developed a formula that can be easily taken at home and that can rid you of these bugs, until now. This is the only website where you can find the Fat Crusher system, so don't miss your chance, and order it here before it's too late. Okay, but how does it work, and how can I be sure it will work on me? It's been proven that probiotics can help lose weight naturally without any diets or exercise. All you need to do is try this formula for yourself, and you'll discover how good it feels to lose all those extra pounds you thought you could never shave off. Then you can watch your body keeping you fit and healthy for years to come, even if you never follow a diet in your life or ever step foot in a gym. How fast will I be able to see any results? Most people see results in just 7 days, and an overwhelming majority stated it only gets better by the day. But results may vary from person to person, so take your time and follow the formula to the letter. Why do you say this is a risk-free program again? You are getting a 60-day money-back guarantee that protects your investment 24/7. You have 2 full months to study the formula, try it out, or share it with your friends if that's what you want, and if you're not perfectly satisfied with the results, just send me an email, and I will give you a full refund. The formula, with all the ingredients, instructions, and recipes, is all yours to keep and try out again if you want. I won't ask for it back, and I won't hassle you with any questions. All I want you to know is that it's up to you if you pay for the Fat Crusher system or not. I'm interested. Now, what happens next? When you click on the Add to Cart button below right now, you can finish your order in perfect security, as it takes less than 1 minute to get instant access to the Fat Crusher system's secret formula, with the full list of ingredients, a step-by-step set of simple instructions, and easy recipes to make it home in just a few minutes. That's all. After you try the formula, please send me an email and let me know about your incredible results. I bet you'll be amazed at how easy it is to lose weight and restore your health so fast without even lifting a finger. All you need to do is click the orange button below now.